So hello everyone, welcome to the new day and new vlog. I hope you have watched yesterday's video and enjoyed it. If not, then you can go and watch that video, which was regarding one of the questions that some people might have in their mind, that is why the vlogs are in English or are Hindi vlogs over. I have talked about the reason and the details in that vlog. If I talk about today's video, then I did Madrid trip over the weekend, and then I told you that I would be discussing about my post-trip experience, how was the cost, what was the information, how we planned the itinerary for it in a separate video, and today is the day for that video. So today's video is regarding, you can say, my post-trip experience. We'll discuss several points like how much did it costed us, to plan Madrid trip, what was the train ticket, how we booked it, and what was the accommodation cost, the hostel where we stayed, and how we planned our itinerary, and what are the informations related to this aspect. So if we start, first of all, if you have not watched Madrid vlogs, then you can go and watch those vlogs, because we were in Madrid for 2 days. So Friday and Saturday we were in Madrid, you can say, and we booked the ticket, you can say, almost 1 week before. We went via train, you can say, the Spanish super fast trains, you can say. It is, I think, a private Spanish organization, Irio, and it was quite decent experience. And that was the very first time like I traveled intercity, from Barcelona to Madrid or to any other city via train, via Spanish train, you can say. And we searched for the tickets, and if I talk about the price, how much does it costed us, you can say almost it was around 90 euros both sides. So going to the Madrid from Barcelona, and from Madrid to Barcelona to Madrid, both of the combined cost is almost 91 euros, you can say. And that's why we booked in maybe 1 week before, so that we get the price accordingly. Also, we planned the itinerary in such a way that we took the train in the morning. So I think we planned that we'll go maybe around 7 o'clock to Madrid from Barcelona, and next day we would depart almost around 8:30 or something like that, so that we have almost 2 days and we can stay there for 1 day, you can say. So if you go to Madrid from Barcelona, you can go early morning and plan your return in the night next day, so that you can get 2 days. And that was the cost for our train, almost 91 euros. Now if I come to the accommodation part, since we had to spend 1 night in Madrid, so we thought that we will book a hostel. The hostel that we booked was called Hostel in Madrid. That was also quite unique name. So some of the people with whom I went to the trip, they searched for several hostel recommendations, and I think this was one of the best hostel recommendations. Why? Because it was close to the city center, the Plaza Mayor, which is there, and other architectural buildings which are there in Madrid. And it was, you can say, next to the center. The ratings were good, quite decent amount of people rated that hostel, and it was among more than 9 rating, you can say. So you can also try to book that. If I talk about the cost, the room that we booked had 6 bunker beds, and like we were 4 people in the trip. 2 other people were random people, because when you book the hostel, you can get the accommodation with random people as well. And it costed us, you can say, almost around 40 euros per person for 1 night. So that was the cost, almost 91 euros for round trip travel, and 40 euros for the accommodation cost. Rest the cost depends on how much you want to spend, because when we reached Madrid, you can say, in the morning, and our check-in time was around 3 o'clock. Although one point I want to mention here is that we had some baggage or some stuff with us, so we asked in the hostel. They were very friendly, and they said that okay, either if your check-in time is 3 o'clock, then you can still keep your stuff here. And they gave us they checked our booking confirmation, and they gave us 1 key that okay, you can keep your stuff there in basement, and then you can travel accordingly. Although I had laptop with me, so that was quite an open place, although only people with the key can access that. So I thought maybe I'll carry laptop with me accordingly. And the thing is, we kept our stuff as our check-in time was 3 o'clock, so we had decent time to explore Madrid. So you can although watch where we went in the vlog, because we had, you can say, little idea what we want to do. Like we marked several places. We also used some online AI tool to make an itinerary for ourselves. But when we reached to the hostel, there they provided us a map as well, and they also gave us some recommendation that you can go to this area. They marked several areas for us, what is close to the hostel, what is quite far from the hostel, which park you can go, which architectural building which you can see. So they also help you with that, and as I said, they were very friendly. So we, you can say, planned our itinerary randomly. We had a template in mind that these places we want to see, and accordingly we decided And we started with the park. We saw what are the palace, or you can say what are the churches or different architectural buildings which are around in Madrid. And we actually went to several places several times, like to and fro, and that was also quite good experience because we were quite also familiar with the city. Although one interesting point which is there apart from the cost and the itinerary is that it is quite random that when we reached Madrid, this was the festival which was going on that day, which is called Almudena 2024, and people were celebrating that on that day, and there were several processions which were going on around that time. So we also got the chance to see that. So you can also, if you go in November, then you can check those dates as well, because I think this is one of the biggest festivals in Madrid. I have also talked about that in the second vlog, where we got to see the that procession next to the cathedral, or you can say the Royal Palace of Madrid. So coming back to the itinerary point, we started with several places, saw several architectural buildings. Talking about the cost aspect as well, see, you have you can say the fixed cost for travel and for accommodation with you. But suppose we went to an Italian restaurant, there maybe per person we paid 15 or 20 euros. So you can expect that, although it depends on you what you eat, what you shop. We also went to some of the bracelet shops, so some people did some shopping there. You can also keep a certain amount for what you spend to get the souvenirs which are there in the Madrid. So that cost can vary, and you can say that is the variable cost. And like in the evening as well, we went to some dinner place. We also went to Honest Green. Some people took some different things to eat, and we also maybe sometime have coffee. Mentioning coffee, one interesting point, when we reached to the hostel, there they told us that the pastries and coffees are free usually, so you can pick that up as well from one of the counters which was there. So you can get free coffee. Like hostel had several services as well. Like they told us that every day if you take there, I think for 12 euros one menu, then every day they have different breakfast, or different breakfast was free. Every day they have different dinner options as well, so you can, I think, pay for that. And they also told us that there was certain price for the bar crawl or pub crawl that they do with the hostel people. So even if you're going solo, there are these events organized by hostels, so you can get to know people as well. And another interesting point was, they also, like, as they helped us with the itinerary planning, with the map as well, and they told us that in your booking the breakfast is included. So next morning they also told us the time for the breakfast. There was also a room for recreational activities where there was pool table, several games were there, so we were able to play that as well. So that facility also the hostel, you can say, provides. And they had these certain amount for certain packages or certain things that they do. Although I think maybe you can check that in their website, but as far as I remember, then in morning, I think at 11 or 12 o'clock, they have certain old town or new town tour facility as well. So if you want to explore Madrid, I think it was based on tips, like you do a guided tour, and based on your wish you can give the tip accordingly. So there were these old town or new town tour facility available as well by the hostel. So these are certain advantages or the perks which were there with the hostel. I'll try to put that hostel's link as well in the description, so you can, if you are going there, you can book that hostel as well, because as far as our experience is concerned, it was quite safe. We got you can say we all had these bands and we could access the room, although there was some initial issue to access the room, but it was finally resolved. And you have to, I would say, carry your own lock, because there is drawer there, but I think if you carry your own lock, then only we can keep our stuff inside, because you share the room with other people. And for the security aspect, it is recommended that if you carry some locks. Although the other two people we got to know who were with us in our hostel as well, there were bunker beds, so there were 6 beds, as I told you. Per bed cost almost 40 euros, and then you get to meet people as well. And one of the person whom we met at that hostel, he also explored next day with us. So this is quite random and surprising, you can say. So these things are concerned with the hostel, you can say, and they were very friendly. Even if we have any issue, then we can go and ask them in our booking. Breakfast was there. Now talking about the next day, the second day, we although our checkout time I think was something around 12 o'clock, we thought that in the morning we'll go and see the procession. Then we came back, we told them that we want to keep our stuff. They said okay, that is fine with us. And when we came back and we did checkout, and also they allowed us to keep the stuff in the basement when we came here before check-in time. So they said that even if you want to check out and your train is at night, you can still keep some of the stuff there. So that was also quite good facility. We kept our stuff there. I carried my laptop bag with me, and then again we explored the city. Talking about the places that we visited, there were several squares which were there. You can say Plaza Mayor, or you can say the Palace, Royal Palace of Madrid, Cathedral, Temple. there are different architectural spots. Talking about, was this time enough? I would say it was quite decent for us since we had almost 2 complete days. So we planned in certain way because I think we almost saw everything which was there in Madrid, or we tried seeing maximum things that we can see around the city, because some of the places we encountered several times as well. So some of the places were near to us since the hostel location is near to the city center, and some of the places were quite far, but it was manageable. One more point. Now some people might have this question: if the places are far, how we are going to travel? The thing is, we took one card, you can say travel pass card general. It costed I think us 10 euros, and through that we were able to take bus and metro. So that is also an important point. We I think purchased that around maybe you can say 11 or 12 o'clock or something around that time, and it was valid for 24 hours. So till next day we could use that pass, and after that, we chose to walk, because some of the places which were there, I think they were 2 kilometers, 1.5 kilometers from our place. So that was also quite good aspect, that for one day if you're staying, you can even buy a travel pass. So that cost can also be included in your Madrid travel plan, that you can say. So this is how we planned certain things. We thought that we'll go and buy there itself, and the food cost, as I said, for next day as well, we ate at some different places. We also tried churros. So churros place is also recommended. You can see in the vlog as well where we went, and there was Real Madrid showroom that we saw. There were different decorations that we saw, different places, different squares, presidential building as well that we saw. And when we were walking around that area, it was such magnificent view, seeing all the architectural buildings, since Madrid is the capital of Spain as well. So it was quite, you can say, busy with tourists. It was well managed, and the skyscrapers or the buildings were just fantastic. So that was, I would say, overall a superb trip. So that was regarding my post trip experience, that if you are planning, some costs are general, or you can say are fixed if you book well within the time, but some cost can vary. For example, what you buy for souvenirs, how much you spend for your food aspect, so that can vary. But I would say it was a worth it trip if you go by train. I know some people who went by you can say flight as well. For them, I think it costed 100 euros something, but you can choose what you want to do, what is feasible for you, and then you can book the hostel, as I said, for 40 euros around per person it might cost you, and then you can look for options accordingly. They also help you providing with the map, and then accordingly you can plan your itinerary. We did not, you can say, had to rush. We were like, okay, we have certain places in mind, so we were exploring in a chill manner as well. Some places we had to walk quite good, but it was like some places had uphill, downhill, but it was a good experience. We chilled for some time in park, we saw several places, sat for some squares. There was a place like a beer on climbing on a tree, that monument kind of thing, you can say, we also saw that. So different monuments we got to see, and that was totally an amazing trip with all the people whom I went with. So I hope through this vlog you got the idea regarding, you can say, first of all, the post-trip experience, the cost or the price aspect, how much the hostel costed us, how much was the round trip cost. Also, you got the idea regarding some of the information points, like you can take the travel pass as well for one day if you are staying there, and the timing aspect, that I think it was worth it. Even if you go for 2 days, you can say, in such a way that you reach in morning and next day night you depart from Madrid. So that was regarding my overall experience, and I'll try to put some links in the description so you can go and visit those links if you are planning your trip to Madrid. And one more point, if I talk about the travel time, it almost took us 2.5 hours to go from Barcelona to Madrid, and then from Madrid to Barcelona, because we booked through same train, you can say Irio, which is called the private, you can say, Spanish super fast train. That was quite super fast. Its speed almost reached 300 kilometers per hour, and it was well on time as well. So that is also important. We took that train, it departed on time, we reached back to Barcelona on time. So that was quite good. So by thanking everyone, I think I'll end this vlog now. Rest, like, comment, share, subscribe. It doesn't take much time. Bye bye, ciao ciao, namaste, chalo, adios. See you in new day, new vlog. Also, you can go to different playlists and watch videos according to your interest. Now you can also go to new launch playlist regarding Barcelona, regarding Spain, to watch videos accordingly, and you can also watch videos regarding Valencia, Zaragoza. And if you have not watched Madrid vlogs, then I would recommend do and watch those 2 days in Madrid, because that was the very first time that I have been to the capital of Spain, that is Madrid. So you can watch that whenever you get time, and other related videos as well according to your interest. You can see that. Bye bye.